According to the 2019 Wedding Wire report, the average couple pays for roughly 45% of their wedding, with family and friends footing the remaining part of the bill. So 46% is covered by their parents and about 9% by other family and friends. So now you know the stats, and keep watching. I'm gonna break down specifically who pays for what, and I'll tell you how to politely ask your parents what they're actually gonna cover, and makes it so everyone who puts forth money is really happy with the whole wedding. I'm Adrienne, wedding coordinator and founder of Uncommon Camellia Weddings. If you are planning your own wedding, this channel has all the tips and support you're gonna need. So let's talk about tradition for a second. So even though tradition has that the bride's family is assuming the burden for most of the wedding, the groom's family is in no way off the hook. In fact, look at the list of what Emily Post says the groom's side should actually pay for. All of the costs of the rehearsal dinner, the marriage license, the transportation, the bride's bouquet, floral for all the groomsmen, floral for all of the immediate family on both sides, and the cost of the officiant. The truth is, I'm rarely seeing the groom's family booking or paying for these items. So if all these percentages are right, and assuming I'm not screwing up the math, which is possible, if the couple pays almost half, and then the groom's family covers the expenses that I was just telling you about, then the bride's family would be left with more like 30% of the wedding expenses. And yeah, that's not really what I see, but I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at statistics and what etiquette is saying, that's closer to where it should land the bride's family. But either way, it's super important that you take a minute to understand tradition, even if, and maybe even especially if you're non-traditional. I don't want you to unintentionally pay for things that are not your responsibility while skipping things that are your responsibility. You can absolutely say, screw tradition, I'm doing my own thing. The thing you can't do is expect everyone else to act like what you're doing is expected. So you can just review the etiquette. The bride's family pays for the planner, the coordinator, the invitation, floral decor, other types of decor. They pay for music, the photographer, the entire reception, and maybe the bridal luncheon. All that's the bride's family traditionally. And then for bridesmaids, they pay for their own dresses, their own hair and makeup, and they're responsible for getting themselves to and from the wedding, which, a lot of times the bride's family does pay for that, or the couple pays for that. But just know, etiquette doesn't require that you do that. Groomsmen pay for the bachelor party, their own attire, and getting to and from the wedding. Knowing this, you can make more informed decisions on your budget. Now, let me give you some advice on what to do if you are not the bride or her family and you want to pay for something in the wedding. Offer to pay for a specific item or service, but set a limit of how much you pay and tell the couple you want to pay the vendor directly. But only do this on a service or an item that you can pay for with no strings attached. Don't give that gift if it has to be a specific vendor because you know them. Here's the reason for writing the check directly to the vendor. The full cost of the wedding may be close to $25,000 or $35,000 or $45,000. For the giver of the gift, it's best if they feel like they contributed in a significant way, something that they can see the couple enjoy and appreciate. Okay, so $1,000 lumped into the overall budget doesn't have the same impact as a gift of a wedding coordinator or the gift of a videographer. However, I'm not saying you just go pick some random add-on that isn't part of what the couple wants. Instead, take them to dinner, ask about how the wedding's going or the wedding planning is going, and genuinely listen to what they're planning and dreaming about. You're gonna hear them talk about what they want, and then you have this sweet opportunity to give a gift that they really want. And then by putting that cap on it and writing the check directly to the vendor, you make this feel much more like a thoughtful gift and less like a line item on the couple's budget. And even more important than that, you take all the weirdness out of where the money went. I've seen couples receive like a $2,000 contribution that was supposed to go towards the second line band, but then they ran out of money and just lumped it in with the whole reception balance. Then when the guests showed up and there was no second line, it was weird. You don't want to make it weird. Back to my couples. Here's another thing you unfortunately cannot do. You can't point blank tell someone, hey, you're responsible for this. No worries, keep watching. I'm gonna tell you what you can do. But first, remember, this is delicate. And when people aren't delicate about it, they make enemies all around them at a time when friendship should be strengthening. Unless someone comes to you and says, hey, I'm gonna cover this, just assume they're not going to. Don't drop hints like sending them this video. Instead, decide if you want that thing enough to pay for it yourself. And if not, accept that it's just not gonna happen. Sure, tradition may say that the groom's side pays for the bouquet, but you don't want to wait around to see if you can get a better bouquet with a possible contribution from his family. Pick the one you want that you can afford. If his family does pay some of it, great, that's lagniappe. If not, no problem. It's in your budget anyway. So here's what you absolutely can do. You can go to your families and say, we are making our budget, and then actually show it to them. Show them what things cost. And then say, look, are you guys planning to cover some of the expenses? If so, wow, thank you. Can you give us an idea of what you'll cover and like how much? If no, okay, I totally understand. Thank you for being upfront with us. We still want you to be involved in the planning process. Just let us know if there are things you specifically like to be a part of. Does that feel weird? Does it feel weird to ask your parents that? Just do it anyway. It's gonna be a lifesaver when it comes to your relationship further down the road. Oh, and check out this video on how to set your budget. Y'all, remember to subscribe to this channel so that all these related videos will be easy to find as you plan your wedding. The important thing is that you are direct but delicate, and that you get some solid numbers. Don't wait to send them the bill to find that you were way outside of their price range. Weddings cost so much more now than they did when your parents tied the knot. If they haven't recently booked wedding vendors, they literally have no clue what to expect. Okay, so also remember this. If you do accept money, and you're inviting other people into the planning process, be prepared to share information freely and do a little extra communication with them during the wedding planning. That's a big ask because your engagement is such a busy time in your life. Nonetheless, you'll need to make some time for that. All in all, remember how you handle these delicate matters is going to set the stage for how you'll handle lots of other matters involving your parents throughout your marriage. So get off to a good start. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next week and happy wedding planning. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey bride, you and me, just me and you.